welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Oman signs 12 pacts worth over 600,000 Omani riyals. Congress of International Federation of Journalists starts today. Oman condemns Israel's provocative practices on Palestinian territories. UK Health Security Agency detects 71 new cases of monkeypox. Trudeau announces handgun freeze and new gun control proposal. Louvre visitor smears cake on Mona Lisa exhibit. UEFA announces independent report into Champions League chaos. World number 2 Daniel Medvedev and Tsitsipas knocked out of French Open. Those were the headlines. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with the local stories for the day. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the local stories. With a total value of more than 600,000 Omani riyals, 12 agreements have been signed to support various social investment initiatives and promote sustainable development in the various governorates of the Sultanate of Oman. The signing of 12 memoranda of cooperation are aimed at supporting a range of social investment initiatives and promoting sustainable development in the various governorates of the Sultanate of Oman with a total value of Omani riyal 690,000, Oman News Agency said in a statement. The initiatives cover a variety of key areas and sectors including health, safety, environment, community infrastructure development and sponsorship of many educational, cultural and sports programs. Oman News Agency reported that the 31st Congress of the International Federation of Journalists hosted by the Sultanate of Oman began today at the Oman Convention and Exhibition Center. The 4-day event's agenda will cover a spectrum of topics, particularly discussing various social phenomena and holding the constitutive meeting of the Federation of Asia-Pacific Journalists. The Sultanate of Oman has condemned the illegal provocative practices of the Israeli forces on the Palestinian territories. The Ministry of Foreign expressed the Sultanate of Oman's denunciation and condemnation of the continuing and illegal provocative practices of Israel and its occupying forces on the Palestinian territories and its enabling of extremist Israeli settlers to storm the courtyards of the Al-Aqsa Mosque under the protection of the occupation forces. This represents provocative and inflaming the feelings of Muslims and a violation of international law, Foreign Ministry said in a statement. The Sultanate of Oman calls on the international community to assume its responsibilities towards the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people, end the occupation and achieve just and comprehensive peace. With that, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the international and sports stories for the day. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the international stories. The UK Health Security Agency or UKHSA has detected 71 new human cases of monkeypox in the country, local media reported on Monday. All of the new cases have been identified in England, bringing the total number of confirmed cases in the UK since May 7th to 179 according to sources. Earlier, the UK Health Agency said that despite new cases, the risk to the population remains low. However, the health agency has advised those in contact with the cases to self-isolate for 21 days. In addition, the UKHSA has stocked a safe smallpox vaccine and is offering it to human close contacts diagnosed with monkeypox to reduce the risk of symptomatic infection and severe illness. Monkeypox is a viral zoonosis, which is a virus transmitted to humans from animals with symptoms very similar to those seen in the past in smallpox patients, although it is clinically less severe. Monkeypox virus is transmitted from one person to another by close contact with lesions, body fluids, respiratory droplets, and contaminated materials such as bedding. The incubation period of monkeypox is usually from 6 to 13 days, but can range from 5 to 21 days. Following recent mass shootings in the United States, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced a proposed freeze on handgun ownership in Canada that would effectively ban their importation and sale. This new regulation comes in the backdrop of the mass shooting in Texas that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. The new measures include implementing a national freeze on handguns to prevent individuals from bringing newly acquired handguns into Canada and from buying, selling, and transferring handguns within the country. The legislation involves a new red flag law that would enable courts to require that individuals considered a danger to themselves or others surrender their firearms to law enforcement. The Prime Minister Justin Trudeau today announced the introduction of new legislation to further strengthen gun control in Canada and keep Canadians safe from gun violence. Bill C-21 puts forward some of the strongest gun control measures in over 40 years, the Canadian government said. Trudeau said in a statement that one Canadian killed by gun violence is one too many. To ensure the national freeze on handguns can be implemented swiftly, the Canadian Minister of Public Safety has already tabled regulatory amendments in both the House of Commons and the Senate. These regulations will help stop the growth of personally owned handguns in Canada and are expected to come into force in fall 2022, the government said. A man wearing a wig disguised as an old woman in a wheelchair threw cake at the Mona Lisa on Sunday, which smeared the protective glass casing with white cream but left the painting undamaged. The man pretended to be disabled in order to get a wheelchair and approached the painting, a Louvre Museum spokeswoman told sources. When he was close enough to possibly the world's most famous painting, he threw a hidden cake at the display case, she added. Immediately after the incident, Louvre security guards were filmed escorting the man out of the museum as he cried in French, "Think of the earth. There are people who are destroying the earth." The Paris prosecutor's office on Monday identified the cake thrower as a 36-year-old man. He was detained and placed under psychiatry evaluation. An investigation has been opened into the damage of cultural artifacts. The Mona Lisa was placed behind a protective case in the 1950s after it was damaged in an acid attack by a vandal. And now for the sports stories. The UEFA has announced it has commissioned an independent report into the events surrounding the UEFA Champions League final in Paris on Saturday. The comprehensive review will examine the decision-making, responsibility and behaviors of all entities involved in the final, the UEFA said in a statement. The Champions League final at the Stade de France on Saturday kicked off after a 36-minute delay. UEFA blamed thousands of fans with fake tickets for delays. French media reports said Liverpool fans without valid tickets were responsible for initial crowd control problems at the game. Meanwhile, the UK government and Liverpool called for a formal probe into what caused the chaos. UEFA said the report will be independently compiled and Dr. Tiago Brandão Rodrigues from Portugal will lead the production of this review. Dr. Rodrigues is a member of the Portuguese Parliament and the President of the Parliamentary Committee of Environment and Energy. He was the Portuguese Minister of Education between 2015 and 2022, a member of the World Anti-Doping Agency Foundation Board from 2019 to 2021, and was the Portuguese Olympic attaché during the 2012 Olympic Games in London. Evidence will be gathered from all relevant parties, and the findings of the independent report will be made public once completed, and upon receipt of the findings, UEFA will evaluate the next steps, the UEFA said in a statement. It was another day of big upsets. World number 2 tennis player Daniil Medvedev was knocked out of the French Open by Marin Cilic in the last 16 on Tuesday in straight sets. Former US Open champion Cilic eased to a 6-2, 6-3, 6-2 win on court Philippe Chatrier. Medvedev followed 4th-ranked Stefanos Tsitsipas out of the tournament. "It was one of the best matches of my career from start to finish," Cilic said in his on-court interview. Cilic, ranked 23, will face Russia's Andrei Rublev in his third career Roland Garros quarter-final. Denmark's Holger Rune stunned 4th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas to enter men's single quarter-final. The 19-year-old Holger Rune won the opening set 7-5, but the 2021 French Open finalist made a comeback in the second set, winning it 3-6. But the Dane went on to win the next 2 sets 6-3, 6-4. Rune will now take on Casper Ruud in the quarter-final. Those were the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.